What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a very interesting detail I noticed while playing Hogwarts Legacy, and that is that I believe they've changed the year that this game takes place in. Now, technically, they've changed it, I believe, from 1890 to an unknown year. There actually, in my opinion, isn't a year that they're choosing anymore. It's more of just the late 1800s. Now, honestly, this makes a lot of sense to me considering they ran with that tagline throughout the entire marketing. The only indicator that we ever had that it was 1890 was from the State of Play gameplay showcase, where they show what actually turns out to be the beginning of the game. And when you're handed the newspaper, it says September 1st, right? First day you're obviously attending Hogwarts, 1890, right? And it's talking about Ranrock's rebellion and all that. Well, now when the game actually came out, same scene, there is no year anymore. So they took the year out. So now it's still September 1st, but there is no year. Couple other things that are interesting as well. We have posters. One of the most noticeable was that Chudley Cannon's one, right? Which we all had talked about where, okay, well, they're advertising for the 21st time that they're going to win, right? So they're advertising for they're going for 21. But here's the deal. We don't really know the years that they've won this thing. The only thing we do know is that they won their 21st championship in 1892. So when we first saw that poster, we were thinking, well, are they celebrating? Well, no. It looks like they're promoting that they're going for it. And in fact, if you zoom in on the poster in the actual game, you'll see that. It says they're going for their 21st championship. The thing is, that could be any year. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's an area of time, right? There is no specific year. Another clue is early-ish on in the game when you're talking to Professor Fig, he gets sent to the Ministry of Magic, and he goes to talk to the minister. And when he comes back, he says the name of the minister, and it's Ferris Spavin. I hope I'm saying that name right. But if you go look him up, he was the minister from 1865 to 1903. You can even look at Headmaster Black, right? We know that he's headmaster for a pretty good amount of time, and he gets out of there in the 1920s, right? But anytime before that, and again, we know we're in the 1800s in this game, anytime before that, he's the headmaster of Hogwarts. He's there for quite a while. There's also another poster in Hogwarts Legacy for the Montrose Magpies, another Quidditch team. And what's interesting about this poster is it talks about how they won the European Cup for the second time. Well, again, if you go look that up, there is no year attached to that. It's just kind of a range. So I do believe I've seen enough information to suggest they made a point on purpose to look at the year and say, you know what, we're going to pull back. We don't want to give it a definitive year. And one final other thing, because I was really starting to question it, really starting to say, all right, well, what about the Goblin Rebellion, right? We knew of a Goblin Rebellion, but again, you look it up and there's very little details. In fact, if you go look it up, the details of when this specific Goblin Rebellion started and like what was going on, all the references are the State of Play trailer. So when it says the Goblin Rebellion was in 1890, they reference the newspaper that we saw in the State of Play. So everything that we have, I guess, that links it to a specific year is now gone, is now changed. And then what they're, I believe, doing is trying to make it a little bit ambiguous, where it could be any year. Now, I personally believe this is because of the Dumbledore thing. I at least would like to believe that. I think that they probably at some point, because they do listen, they do hear people online, they probably thought, oh, geez, if we go back for a 6th year, if we go back for a 7th year or whatever, and we're in 1890, we're eventually going to literally run into Dumbledore in 1892. We would eventually do that, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the year out. Everything else makes sense because the Chudley Cannons poster, they could be going for their 21st championship for 10 years. You know, this could be 1878. And they could still be going for their 21st, and they just may not get it for another, 13, 14 years. So you can still do that, right? And it would all still work. And that's what I believe that they were going for, and that they pivoted sometime after that first State of Play. So let me know if you guys found any other evidence in the game. I'm not all the way through it, so maybe there's even more to suggest, for sure it's not 1890. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.